Okay, so keeping up with the theme about work and why I strive to be independent, I came across this video that says more black men facing jobless crisis. Now, I don't know if you could tell, but I am not a black man. But I want to use this as an example why it's hard to get a job, because a lot of the times it's not really up to you, it's up to the person that's hiring you. And you, as a man, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, that you got passed up for a job because you're a man in certain industries. I've dealt with that several times, So, and I've always had the thought of maybe I also didn't get the job, not just because I'm a man, but also because either I'm an ugly man or of my the color of my skin. And the reason I say this is because I've seen it happen. Again, I'm not black, and I've been around a lot of non-black people, white, Hispanics, like Mexican Americans, and I've seen that they will not hire black people, black men, black women. It's just they won't hire them. And I'll give you a couple of true stories. One time, it was in 2013. I was hanging out at the VFW here in Galveston, and that's I left the army. Just I would from time to time hang out at the VFW, trying to find other veterans and stuff to see how they're struggling with unemployment. And there was this white guy who was in there that I met. Seemed cool at first, I would see him every now and then, and we would chit chat. He thanked me for my service and stuff, and cool, no issues. And when he would drink, he would tell me some things, and the things he would tell me, it was like an eye opener. I knew stuff like this happened, but for somebody to openly admit it to me, it's just kind of weird, And it's almost like they admitted stuff to me, like they think I see eye to eye with them. And so there were some black people at the bar, and they came in there, got some drinks, and then they left. And then this dude decided to go off on a racist rant and tell me like, "Oh man, I can't stand those people." And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I thought it was that specific group, but he meant black people. And then he tells me, "That's why I don't hire them." And I'm like, "Word?" He's like, "Yeah, I work at the hospital, UTMB, and I'm in HR, and I don't hire no black people." And I was like, "Well, doesn't they, I see black people at the hospital, or I've seen them before." So I was like, obviously they're getting hired. And he said, "Yeah, of course, some still get hired. But not when they come across his desk. When they come across his desk, he does not hire black people." And he said it like he was proud of it and stuff. And I was like, man, this it just opened my eyes that he's telling me this about black people, and I was thinking like, I wonder if this is a case that I've come across. That, like I said, there's racism, man, and I've applied for so many jobs, and I know I'm qualified. In many cases, I'm overqualified, and I don't get them. And I always thought that maybe, I hate to say the racism thing. I always think it's either because of the color of my skin or my sex, or whatever. Honestly, I stopped caring because of. That I want to be independent. I don't want to have to work for anybody. But that was one instance. And then I've come across more and more companies that or people that will not hire black people. One time we were shorthanded in a job that I used to work at, and this black security guard told us he came to my coworkers and asked us at the site where we were working at if we were hiring, and one of my coworkers told him not really, and we were. And he told him not really, and I told him later on, like, why'd you tell him not really? You know, we're shorthanded. He says, oh, because the boss man ain't gonna hire him. He don't hire blacks. And sure enough, damn straight, he told us later on that, yeah, he does not hire blacks. He will never hire a black person. He doesn't believe in them. He says they're lazy. You know, they don't work good. And it's like it sucks when you get stereotyped, you know, as being lazy. And they went on, and I understand where it comes from too. Not just them being racist, but also it's because of the culture of modern day black people, especially like in the city. When you run across the average black person, they don't look like like they want to work in certain industries, especially like hard labor, like excuse me, like construction. Like and I say this because of how you dress. If you're like, when I'm running across the average Mexican, not Mexican American, the average Mexican, because we have a decent amount of Mexicans here in Galveston. When I run across the average Mexican, I'm on day to day, they're wearing work boots, they're wearing work pants, and they're ready to work. Even on their day off. On their day off, they look like they're just ready to work always, like their outfit, you know. Even me, look. I'm in an office job. I'm wearing work shoes, steel toe. And when I'm not wearing steel toe shoes, I'm always wearing work boots. It just they feel more comfortable. I got comfortable wearing boots from the army, and I've always just like wearing boots, and so I wear a lot of work boots. But even my outfit, I'm never worried about getting it dirty. And if I had to do some construction work, hey, they need some work over here and they're hiring and stuff, I'm like, I'm ready to work. You know, I'm always ready to work. And I don't want to do construction, but if I had to, I would, you know, or any labor job. Now, when I come across the average black person, you know, I live in a black neighborhood, and I went to well, we only had one high school here, really, at the time when I went to school. I think we have two now, and a private school. But at the time, it was only one high school, and, you know, a mix of black, brown, white, everything, you know. Generally speaking, you know, the average black person had a nice outfit, you know. Didn't want to get anything dirty, and, you know, nice shoes, expensive shoes. And that's the culture, you know, especially because of hip hop and rap. That's what it promotes, you know, having a nice fit. Mexican Americans, the newer generations, I've noticed, like my nephews, they're in the same motto. They wear really nice shoes, nice designer clothes, and are not trying to work. That's the average, the newer generations of Mexican Americans. I would say almost like second generation. First generation, I'm first generation, and the ones I know that are first generation, it's a mix of a little bit of both. People who are more materialistic and people who are more like, you know, country-ish. And when it comes to like white people, it's a spectrum. You know, you got your country boys who are always wearing boots, and your surfer dudes, because I do live in an island. So you got the surfers, your hippie bros with long hair. So it's a mix. But when it comes to black people, there's less of a mix, and it's almost the majority of them are they don't give off the vibe of they're trying to work out outdoors, out in the sun. Anything hard. And I don't blame them. I ain't trying to do that shit no more. But because of that stereotype, they don't even get a chance. Even if it wasn't about that, even if it was about freaking getting dirty, just because the I don't know. I remember that guy. He said, "I don't want thug life. That's thug life." When he talked about black people, like they're all thugs and rappers and stuff. It's a stereotype that they have to face. So I can see it, and I try to relate it to me. Like sometimes deep down, I think I get past stuff because I know for a fact, because I'm a man. I know that for a fact. And the other part, I think maybe race and maybe age too. Okay, so I'm gonna react to this.
Well, researchers say the rise of joblessness among black men has become a crisis, and its financial impacts are having a ripple effect. According to a new report from the Center for Economic and Policy Research, the toll of unemployed black men is costing the U.S. economy about $50 billion a year. Researchers say black men have consistently had the highest annual unemployment rate for the last 20 years. The report found the predominant reason is a lack of job offers. It is also impacted by higher mortality and incarceration rates. Researchers say with communities that with larger populations of working black men experience lower crime rates and better educational opportunities for children. For more on this, I want to bring in Algernon Austin. He is the Director for Race and Economic Justice at the Economic Policy Institute. He's also the former director of the Race, Ethnicity, and the Economy program. Thanks for joining us. I want to get right into this. So what are the factors that we're talking about contributing to this high unemployment rate, these levels of black men who just, want to see change here? What does need to happen?
Well, we need it to be a national issue. We need national attention. So it's great that you're covering this. And let me clarify that the official unemployment numbers undercounts the magnitude of.
I gotta say this, man. The dude, it looked like he got punched in the face, man. I'm just off topic. I know I shouldn't freaking body shame. My teeth ain't looking good either, but damn.
Joblessness for black men.
He got a giant gap like what's his name, Terry Crews or no, not Terry Crews, Michael Strahan on the top and at the bottom.
Black men face a considerable amount of discrimination in the labor market because of race, because they're black men, because they may be formerly incarcerated, because of disability, all of these factors. And when people are rejected from jobs over and over again, they stop looking for work. The moment they stop looking for work because they're discouraged or because they're in an economically depressed community and they see that there are no jobs available in their community, the moment they stop looking for work, is the moment the Bureau of Labor Statistics say they are no longer unemployed. So that's what my report is looking at all the men, and it's a vast number of black men who are discouraged, who dropped out of the labor market, but they are still jobless. They still may have kids.
I feel the same way, like for veterans. They were like, "Oh, veteran unemployment has gone way down." I'm like, yeah, it's because it goes down with over time, but it's not because they have jobs. It's because unemployment runs out, and now they're just unemployed, like myself. And it looks good, like, oh, look, unemployment rates are going down. Like, no, it's just they're no longer considered unemployed because they're not receiving unemployment benefits. This is across all departments, not just black people, veterans, just people in general. The government doesn't only considers you unemployed when you're, I guess, getting unemployment benefits. Yeah, it's a scam. It makes them look better.
That need support. And when you look at that, you see a massive, on an average year, it's about 1.4 million men. And so it's the issue of racial discrimination in the labor market, discrimination against people who are formerly incarcerated, discrimination against people with disabilities are three of the major factors.
Yeah,
and economically depressed communities.
Yeah, I know a lot of economists have a major problem with the way unemployment is counted. They say it's a flawed system. But I'm curious, those unemployment levels of black men running much deeper than just not having a job. It's also perpetuating the wealth gap in this country, because for every month a black man's not working, that's less money for his family, which means less opportunity on a host of measures. So talk about that cycle.
Absolutely. A job is fundamental. That's the foundation upon which people build wealth. If you don't have a job, for the average black person, if you don't have a job, you're a loser.
And this is for everybody, man. That's why, man, your job is your identity nowadays, and it sucks. When you lose a job, you lost your identity, and it's like you don't even want to live anymore. And I'm tired of this. I face this back to back almost every year. Like that I go through. I go in between jobs because of many issues, and I'm just tired of it, man. I want to be self-employed, and hopefully with crypto and YouTube, I'm able, and with your help, I will be able to do this.
Losing wealth, you're spending down your savings, you're selling assets.
And hopefully, maybe you will one day too, get out the workforce and be the boss,
Or you're going into debt. You're putting things on credit cards, you're going to predatory lenders, and that just puts you further and further behind. It also, can damage your credit rating, so it makes it much more difficult that you can get an asset like a home or a car in the future. So it really does contribute significantly to the wealth disparities that we see in our society.
Do we have any?
I was gonna say, look at that dude working behind the counter. It's like that outfit, which is good for this job, but that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm wearing a T-shirt, and this is black, so obviously I'm not trying to work outside, but it's still like it's a cheap T-shirt. It's a cheap T-shirt, and I don't give a damn if it gets dirty, whatnot. It's not designer. I think I paid less than $10 for this. I usually pay $4 to $8 a shirt. And like I said, I'm always just like ready to work labor-ish, even though I don't want to. I don't think anybody really does. I mean, we do it, but like I said, most people ain't dressing to do anything. They're not dressing for certain career fields. When I see a Mexican, they're wearing white T-shirts, usually Sherwin-Williams paint. White T-shirts because they're gonna be out in the sun getting burnt, and white is reflective, and you're not gonna be hot. So white T-shirts and boots, and that's, I don't know, that it's that culture of they're all wearing that. It's like then it makes it easy when you want to stereotype and think, I need to hire somebody, and like the thought of hiring someone in that group, it's like almost like a no-brainer, and like honestly, it's like let me see, like if I came across a Japanese person, the stereotypical Japanese person that comes to mind is somebody in a business suit, and I wouldn't want to hire them to do like anything labor, I almost want to hire them to do something IT or something. It's again the culture that you're around, that stereotype does play in the minds of everybody, and it could be a good or bad. Like in the case of Asian people, it can help you out in some cases.
That we see in our society.
Do we have any idea of the mental health toll this is having on Black men? Or
Oh yeah, on the mental health. This almost reminded me of a movie back in the day, and I really, it stuck with me. It was a movie called Baby Boy. It's not a good movie. It's a hood movie. It's like it's a hood classic, I would say. And I can't think of his name. It's Omar Gooding, I think his name is. I think it's Omar Gooding, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother. He plays a character, and he doesn't have a job, and he's trying to hustle left and right. And he has a talk with one of his homies, and he's talking about not having a job, and he basically a lot of times he leaves the house like at a certain point, like a 9 to 5, and doesn't come back till later in the night, just because he doesn't want to be at home, because of the embarrassment of not having a job, because it puts a mental strain on you. So he just likes to disappear and look like he was working all day. And I can relate to that so much, because I don't like to be around my family or anything when I'm not working, because I feel like a freaking loser, if I'm not working and just chilling with the fam. I was like, I gotta be away, because it's just, you look lazy, and I don't know, it plays with your mental your mental health.
wives and children, for that matter?
This is a very important question that you asked, and we need to do more research on that. But we know that joblessness is going to cause stress, anxiety, can lower your self-esteem significantly, particularly if you have people depending on you for support. All the mental health challenges gets multiplied when you think, oh, I'm letting down my family because of my joblessness. So yes, it contributes a significant amount.
It makes you feel like a loser,
To mental health stress and duress.
Research suggests that if the jobs gap closed between white and Black men, about $30 billion would be funneled back into Black communities every year. What are the solutions to fixing this, or are there any?
There are. We need to more effectively address the racial discrimination in the labor market, we need more laws, we need stronger initiatives, stronger encouragement for employers to diversify their employment practices and really give opportunities to everyone, not just to the people in their networks. We see this problem persistently. I talked about, unfortunately, many predominantly Black communities are essentially economically depressed communities. But what did we do in the Great Depression? In the Great Depression, we had the Works Progress Administration create subsidized jobs. So we need targeted subsidized jobs programs to high unemployment communities.
Yeah. So basically, this is why I brought this issue up. Even though I'm not Black, I can relate to this. That I never know when I'm applying for a job that I qualify, that I'm gonna get not hired because of a list of things, because of my race, because of my gender, because of whatnot, like stuff that's shouldn't really factor into it, but I know it happens, and therefore I don't want to be in the workforce anymore. I want to be independent, and that is my goal in life. I'm gonna eventually do this one way or another, and hopefully it's through YouTube. And if you want to help me out, like, subscribe, comment, you know, every little bit helps. All right. What are you doing to escape the workforce? Just let me know your thoughts on any of this.